Nice and shiny, so am I.
Yeah.
I would open the window, but Paul closed it up. So you excited about the Reading Festival? Reading? How do you pronounce it?
Reading.
Reading,
I think
yeah.
it's Reading.
Yeah, that's just one of about 10 or 12 we're playing.
Really?
Yeah,
We're
Yeah.
playing this one in Holland in front of 60,000 people.
That's great.
Yeah,
Are
but
you-
that's I'm excited about that.
Yeah?
You know.
Yeah, we're doing like there's a festival in Sweden.
Talking about Iggy Pop, I think as soon as we
Really?
get there.
Iggy Pop, does he have a new album coming out?
I don't know.
I don't know, that's the
I
weird
just know
thing.
he's
Yeah, I
playing.
wonder, he's
He's
just
playing.
showing up.
I don't know if we're playing a festival with him or we're
Yeah.
playing.
It is.
We're playing a club.
It's a small festival thing. I think the
Sing
one
a
in-
song, Joy. Just
Sing.
trick the audience.
Happy, happy, joy, joy.
You want
Everybody watches Reading Tribute. I've heard them all now.
to pull the plug, pull the plug.
It is not I who am crazy.
It's fine.
And you're playing with like Body Count and all these really amazing people at Reading Festival, right?
Yeah. Actually, you could probably tell us more about it than we know. You know, like.
Yeah. What's in your promo? It's like,
Is that who's on it?
Body
Oh, the
Count,
Reading?
Soundgarden, Nirvana.
The
Oh,
Reading
yeah, yeah,
Festival?
yeah.
I haven't seen the lineup. We were
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
It's
the
pretty
lineup.
cool though. I heard Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains.
Pearl Jam.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
last year was Nirvana and Soundgarden.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
maybe they mixed it up or something. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
that's
know.
really neat.
I have no idea. It's gonna be cool though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Doesn't matter. It's like
Doesn't
just
matter,
to
just
be
to
there,
get
have
over
some
there.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah, but do you really get to see the? I wonder, do you really get to see the countries like when you go and you
No.
isn't it still like a television
I
like,
don't-
Out of a
interview
window
kind
of a bus. That's about it.
But you do,
know?
you know, you do things like you go to restaurants and stuff. You're still experiencing a different culture.
Mm.
Well, you get
know.
to meet the people too.
Yeah.
Like I mean, tons
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah.
You know, you just may not
Just-
be in the surroundings.
yeah,
you wanna be
talking
in,
to some
you know,
kid.
We want to go sit on a mountain. Forget it. We're gonna be in an
Yeah.
office
How do you
meeting.
feel about meeting people anyway?
I hate people.
What about people in the industry?
Good and bad.
So, how about those expos?
Okay, this is not for record.
No,
I mean,
it's
I like
totally
meet a lot
great.
of- how do you feel about meeting fans anyway?
Oh,
Oh,
that's the
that,
best.
that's great. Yeah.
Totally.
I mean,
Yeah.
actually,
It's
everyone's
new
been
to
cool.
us actually. Any kind of fan.
I never had any fans before.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're gonna start getting a lot of mail. I think every time you put an address on something,
Oh,
people pick
yeah.
up on it right away. I
And
think.
some interesting people
Yeah.
right in.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Crazed. I think
Yeah.
that chick who follows Letterman around.
Oh, yeah,
I think
Margaret
she,
or something.
I think she
Yeah.
wrote us.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's really amazing. I mean, you were together for about a year, and then you get signed after 13 shows. It's like,
Mhm.
so you go from being like,
It's fun-
struggling musicians to sign. Like, do you feel any pressure on you now?
Yes. No.
Yeah.
That's funny though, because I don't know when I hear that, like when I hear someone say it back, getting signed after 13. I don't know. It sounds like a bad thing now. You know, like,
It's like,
"Gee,
yeah.
we weren't out there long enough, but
Yeah, I know some people might say,
Yeah.
oh, they didn't struggle. I don't know though.
But
I
see,
think
we're
it's-
struggling
everyone.
now. 'Cause, I mean,
Yeah.
like, you know, before the record comes out, we've been working ever since. So I mean,
it's
we're
more of a
playing tons
mental
shows.
struggle now, actually, than
Yeah.
Hmm.
than anything else. You know, but you're struggling or doing whatever even before, say, your band gets together. You know, you're playing for years, trying to find the right people to play with, trying to, you know, writing songs. It's from the day I think you pick up your instrument or whatever. It's
You
gonna.
dream.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a struggle until something good happens. Like
Mm.
something good has happened to us, but it's still kind of a struggle because you got to. You know, you got to meet your own standards and stuff like that,
Mm.
and that's the hardest thing.
I think the pressure's off now, though, because I think the pressure was basically the record. You know,
Yeah.
everyone's going,
Getting the
well,
record
because
deal.
everyone saw us live, and they're hoping that we could capture that on record. And I mean, I think we feel pretty confident about it. It's like the record's over with. Like
Yeah.
it's
It's
going to
done,
speak
yeah.
like for the next year and a half.
Yeah.
It's not up to us anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Yeah, so the record's coming out July
hey,
27th.
July
You
27th.
did
Yeah.
it. So the debut single is Rainbow Fall.
Rainbow
How did you
Fall.
decide on that single?
Well, yeah, this is a weird thing because Levitate, the song Levitate is actually the lead off track. In a sense, it's out on radio now. It's mostly in Canada. It's like campus radio and certain regular stations, but in America, it's already at like AOR stations
Really?
and
Rainbow
core.
Fall.
No, Levitate.
Levitate,
Yeah,
oh.
and like we did it without video. We just wanted people to
Uh-huh.
just kind of go, geez,
Yeah.
what's
But
that?
it started doing like the crossover thing, and then
Yeah,
everyone's kind of
yeah.
rethinking about that song. Like maybe I don't know.
Things are going like very well for that. Like it's not real. There wasn't no big push behind Levitate, but it's doing fairly well.
Mm.
So it's kind of like a setup for Rain Will Fall because that's going to be that's the first like
launch.
focus.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
they're putting everything behind it, kind of thing, which is fine because it's a different song because it has a big long percussion jam in the middle of it, and
It's a long song too.
yeah, we did the video for it, and everything's ready to roll, I guess. So.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, you did a video, and it's like total launch. I mean, if you think about your debut single as your introduction to the world, what do you want Rain Will Fall
Yeah.
to say about you as a band?
Yeah, I think that's what any band faces, like with this is the first thing, and the world's gonna see of them. So you want to make some kind of impact.
I'm losing sleep over it.
You look
I mean,
like-
because it's the first thing anyone's gonna hear. It's like everything I've worked for, like ever since we started playing. Here it is.
Seems
giving
like it
I'm-
depends on
it's
one
like-
song, but it
yeah,
really doesn't.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like in the big picture, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm still gonna keep writing music. It's not gonna like change my life, but you're showing everybody a piece of you, and you're hoping that people at least accept it or respect it. They don't have to buy it, just respect it.
Yeah, just respect us. Don't bother us.
You know, I was listening to the album, and I really like So Gently We Go, and really like the song a lot. And I don't know, maybe it's presumptuous of me, but like part of the song, it sounds a little bit like the end. Do you see that? The end from the Doors? Do you see that at all? Like the guitar part?
Well,
The only part would be, just like a little. There's a run in it. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. It's kind of reminiscent of that, and it has kind of a. Like
gotta love the Doors though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean.
I think that song
grew up on that
probably
too.
we're probably in a Doors phase around that
Yeah.
the writing of that song. I don't know.
Who knows?
I
but
went
we-
to
yeah.
the Doors phase too.
Hey, everyone
yeah.
does. You know.
And you'll probably have another one.
Yeah, you think so?
Yep.
There's
for
another
sure.
movie I might.
Yeah, really.
So, do you play that song live? How does it go over?
We mix it up. It's
Mm.
some nights it's in, some nights it's
Because
out.
our songs are so long, and if we're playing like a 45-minute set, so we have to cut basically like 4 or 5 songs
Yeah.
from the record. So like, I mean, we're not playing them.
Mhm.
Depends on who maybe we're playing with, kind of how the night's going. It's kind of we look at each other.
Sometimes, yeah, you just
you like to-
call it out on stage. Half the time when we're playing, it's what are we playing next?
We get in a huddle like, before.
Spontaneous, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's I don't know. We kind of go on stage a little bit in the dark. I think it helps keep things fun.
The
You
edge.
know, like
And,
we know generally
it
know what you're-
hinders,
yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's like
we don't want perfection.
yeah, it's hit and miss with us live. That's for sure.
Do you think getting radio play will be a challenge because some of your songs are longer than the traditional 3 or 4 minutes?
Yeah.
At first,
Everyone thought,
yeah,
yeah.
everyone thought that. Everyone's going, well, you're not going to get on the radio, this and that. But we've always said that it will happen because I mean the melodies are there, the music is there. I mean, it doesn't matter a length of a song. I think I
Mhm.
mean it does, of course, but we've proved otherwise with Levitate because it's already doing well, and so they're kind of rethinking. Like now they're thinking Rain Will Fall. Okay, it's a bit long, but who cares?
Yeah.
And plus, radio is changing at the same
Yeah.
time. They're accepting a lot more music.
So, you write the lyrics and you write the songs? Like, kind of like the whole picture, sort of?
Yeah, more or less. And
So,
then,
'cause
like,
they're-
it's very much everybody,
Right.
but that's where it kind of stems from there, and then we all kind of, everyone has their say.
Yeah, I see. So how does that feel for you? Because you play guitar, so in a sense the singer is sort of the voice of the band, and here you are, you write these songs, you express yourself, and then you sort of hand them over to another voice.
Well, see,
You're talking music or like lyrics?
Well,
see,
the
lyrically, I
songs
think
and-
it's more of a problem with the words, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're all his thoughts, and it's like, here's my thoughts. You have to get them across. But I mean, I think it depends on your singer too. Like, I mean, where his head's at. If he can accept that, that's fine.
Mhm.
And I think
Music,
everyone
it's
does.
just that's kind of the way it goes. The guitar player
Mm.
just does his thing, and everyone gets together and works
But see,
around
everybody's got to be happy with it. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not going to pursue anything musically that the guys are saying, this
Mm.
sucks. I'm not going to go, well, no, this is my song and it has to be played by you guys. It's like, it doesn't work like that at all. Everyone's got to be totally into it,
it.
or
Yeah,
else.
it's the same lyrically
Yeah.
too. Like, it's
Yeah,
not
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, like I mean, no, like it's not like I'm writing the lyrics for this band. I don't care what anyone says. It was just something that happened. It was like a natural kind of progression of events where I just started writing and things were kind of working good and we got onto a little bit of a roll and just kind of took it from there. Like, I'm the,
But if he starts writing really bad stuff,
yeah,
Stays out.
I'm out of there, man. Yeah. But, everyone's kind of in the same ballpark, so it's not too much of a problem really. Like it's not really. I think to other people they might make more out of it than we do, because it just seemed kind of natural the way it happened and the way it is happening.
What's it like performing? Is it very cathartic? Like, if your music really means something to you, then you go out there and you're playing your music and it means something to you, and you know that people are listening. How does that feel? Is it very cathartic? Is it like a release?
Yes and no, because I think there's a lot of things that can hinder that from happening, and like you have, equipment, things. So many things can go wrong that interfere with you connecting with what you've written and what you're trying to get across to an audience. If you're fighting bad gear and noises all over the stage and stuff like that, it's like you're not going to do it as well as you should. But
Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam said that some of the best moments he ever had were the ones that he doesn't remember. Do you
That's
feel
true.
that way?
I totally go along with that. I mean, because some of the best moments are just the totally spontaneous, only happen once things, and don't always remember those.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
hey,
I
you
guess.
only remember things that you're actually thinking about, you
Mhm.
actually try to do. It's like you're always going to remember that. But if I don't know, it's just a weird. You really have to be doing it to understand. It's kind of a bizarre situation that you're in when you're performing. If you can ever get it to that level where you're not thinking, totally, it's something else is controlling what's happening. I don't think you'd remember it. You just know that it was wonderful, but that's it.
Yeah, because it's really amazing. I mean, some of the songs are so long, so atmospheric. It's like you can really take the crowd somewhere. I mean, do you feel like you're taking the audience on a journey? I mean, it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah, we're just-
pretentious, but it is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we try to. We're hoping it does, because it does for us, and we're hoping that everyone's coming along with us. But
The album's like that. Like,
Yeah.
it is kind of a trip beginning to end. It's like a real ear candy headphone thing. Live, you can only hope you can do the same thing, but again, sometimes you're restricted with time or whatever. But you still do your best to. And we find when we're playing, we get a lot of just people watching just like that. But we don't mind that, because at least they're kind of facing us and trying to take it in.
they kind of move into it.
Yeah.
You can tell that they're absorbing something, like whether
Which
it's
is
good
fine,
or bad. I don't know.
because half the show is like people want to jump around and be insane, and the other half is kind of like, let's cross our legs on the floor and
Let's not be too
be
cool.
introspective,
Right.
So and just kind of take it in. Not let's not be cool. It's just kind of let's just take it in, and. So we're telling people to bring their own pillows to the show, so when they want, they can just sit on the floor. I don't know, something like that.
A lot's been said about the fact that Mike Clink of Guns N' Roses Megadeth fame.
Who's that?
That
Mike?
guy. You know that guy.
Um,
Yeah, produced your debut
Guns
album.
and who?
Guns N'
What?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mega what?
Those rabble rappers.
Yeah.
But lots been said about that, about how amazing he is and who he's done and produced. And then the fact that he's producing your debut album. But I wonder, if you had to qualify it, what would you say you really learned from him?
For me,
a couple of good
personally,
recipes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a great cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's because you learn so much. I think.
I don't think you learn from a person as much as the experience of being in the studio with someone like that.
I was with him constantly,
Yeah.
and I was constantly picking his brain about everything. So,
He'd
I
go
mean,
home at night and sleep with him and his wife and the dog
and the
everything.
dog. And,
Cozy.
yeah, very cozy. But I learned a lot.
Yeah. No, it's just it's like the whole the studio experience. If you're with someone who knows what they're doing, like Mike,
You can't help but learn.
you
something.
can't. Yeah, you're picking things up that you don't even know you're picking up, really. But as far as learning from a person, yeah, I guess it does happen. But
Was he like a teacher, sort of like, kind of like an initiator, sort of?
Like
opened our
indirectly, I
eyes a
think.
lot to
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like a really easygoing guy, so it wasn't like there's no problems with anything being forced on us. So it was very casual. So the learning thing was very, very good, because it was very casual and everything.
The media especially going into like the 21st century, tends to really need, I find, tends to really need to label things and package
yeah.
things. And so it's like there are all these bands coming out of Seattle, so then there's the Seattle sound, and now it's even happening in Halifax. And so I
Yeah.
wonder, I mean,
The Halifax.
yeah, well, give it another year. Another year. If
Yeah.
Sloan makes it big, I'm convinced that they'll be Halifax sound. But I digress.
Don't do
what-
that. Not in front of us.
The question actually was, coming out of Toronto, do you think there is a Toronto sound, or is there a scene, or what is the scene?
There's a scene. What it is, I don't know. Like, I mean, there's tons of bands, tons of places to play. It's really healthy. But as far as the sound, I have no idea. I don't know. It's kind of like what I get from it. I don't know. I could be totally wrong.
But
Probably get
He
some
probably
hate mail.
is,
Hate
so.
mail, definitely. Kind of rockabilly, hillbilly, folk stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it's a pretty broad thing. Like, there's so many different actual scenes, but I don't know. As far as part of like a Toronto sound or whatever, we kind of were oblivious to all that those kind of things. We really separated ourselves from anything like that. I mean, we just got busy with ourselves and just kind of turned inward, and we didn't really give a shit what was going on anywhere. Like, it just doesn't matter, no one who wants to cop from another band who's just kind of playing around in clubs. And like, I mean, I don't know.
if you're gonna cop, you gotta cop
Cop
something
from the
a
pros.
big band.
Yeah. So as far as the Toronto sound, I don't know if there is one. Maybe when a few bands put out some albums
Then
that are
we'll see.
start doing well, maybe they'll kind of link them together and say there's the Toronto sound. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But not yet.
Mhm.
Now I wonder. Now you two, everyone.
You're not going to digress again,
No,
are you?
well, I
Oh, all
might,
right, all right.
but you'll have to bear with me. You two are brothers. For
Yeah,
everyone who doesn't
same
know,
parents.
you're brothers.
Yeah.
Same parents, brothers. And I wonder what your relationship's like. I mean, you grew up together, and now you're like totally connected in this as musicians. I mean, you travel together and perform together, and I wonder.
Oh, geez, you're bringing me down.
Someone's
No,
bound to.
yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know. When you do it for so long, it's kind of like not even. It's like
I don't,
seems
I've
like.
never really thought about it.
Yeah.
I mean, there
Like,
might-
we fight the most out of anybody in the
In the
band, you know,
band,
but
yeah.
it's like at the same time defend each other the most.
Mm.
You know, it's a weird.
It's all for the.
You have to ask the other guys.
And it's all for the same
they're like-
cause too. Like when we're arguing or doing this or that, we do have the same goals at least. So it's not like we're pulling in different directions about what we want to do with our lives. It's all basically for the one thing, and so it's not even. I don't know. It is kind of weird.
So I mean, it's like you don't even think about it, but here you are in this really connected relationship, almost like dead wingers, but not exactly. You're not twins or anything. So.
Yeah.
But I digressed again.
Boy.
What are you gonna do?
I'm quitting the band, man.
Alright.
I want to go in a band without brothers.
Well,
Less stress.
I wonder. You guys started playing together like 10 years ago. Is that right? Something like that?
Somewhere in our
Yeah.
formative years.
I'm
yeah.
afraid to admit it. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
So like, when you were, let's say, 14 or 15 or however, 13 or whatever, like, did you think that let's get a record deal or we want to be huge stars? What did you think back then? And how has it changed to now? Now that you're there.
Actually, the funny thing is, it's kind of, in a weird way, stayed the same because it wasn't always, we want to be the biggest band in the world. It wasn't anything like that. It was just kind of, geez, we want to do this for the rest of our lives or whatever. It wasn't anything grand. It was something we knew we wanted to do. But at the same time, we were kind of kept modest goals like, okay, first thing, let's get a band together. Let's write songs. It was like, all the goals we had were basically modest ones. And, I mean, I don't know, you could say you want to be the biggest band in the world. But really, I just want to kind of write music and keep doing this. Make an album after this and one after that. So in that way, I think we've stayed the same. But obviously now our eyes are a bit more open than they were back then. So.
So as a writer, like as a wordsmith, you could even say, I mean,
But you digress,
You,
yeah.
you shouldn't have
Yeah.
said that. He'll hold that one on us. Words.
I didn't mean to add to your ego,
That's
but
okay.
like someone who's
What are you laughing at?
but I mean someone who writes. I mean it's one thing it's one thing to produce music. I mean, that I would think alone is a very intense experience. But
Mhm.
words, I mean, I wonder, how do you feel? Like, do you feel that you need to express yourself musically, and that whether you were in a band or not, you would be writing, you would be doing something with music, whether there was a deal or not?
Yeah, like, I mean, it comes back to what we were talking about when you start. You just want to play music, and that's kind of it, because that's what you do best. As far as the writing thing, it's not something, like I said, it wasn't planned or anything. Just kind of happened. I wrote for myself, lyrically, like, the poetry thing. I'd write down my thoughts,
Do you
nothing.
have a journal?
Not quite a journal, just a book of just something pops into my head, I write it down. But as far as music goes, yeah, I mean, I would rather just personally, I'd rather just play music and not have to worry about writing lyrics or anything like that. But it adds me doing it adds to the whole of what the band is. Just like his guitar playing, his style adds to what our band is.
You really think so?
No, but I want the people to know that. That's
The
kind of
people,
what I
the
think.
people of the Concordia
Yeah,
University.
but yeah, no, so it's I don't know, it's yeah,
Yeah.
that thing.
What I also think is interesting is that, it's like, let's say everyone in this room speaks English, right?
Mhm.
But so it's a language and everyone understands the language. But I wonder though, I mean, not everybody, let's say you write, that's what you
Mhm.
do. And so in that way, you've kind of got an edge on, let's say, other people in this room, because that's the thing that you do and that's how you express yourself, right?
Mhm.
But we all understand English, but we can't all, let's say, write the way you do.
Mhm.
But with music, I think music, it's like a language, and we can all listen to
Yeah.
music, but we can't all write music, And so I wonder, how is it for you? Do you like hear music in your head, like you just hear it?
Constantly.
How?
Yeah. It's like that's it for me. I don't do anything else. Like when I'm at home, that's all I do. I don't go out. Anything
Sometimes
like
it's
that.
a pain in the ass.
Yeah, because that's all I think
Is it
about.
obsessive, really?
Yeah, totally. And it's hard for other people to understand. Like, I'm usually zoned out somewhere else, and it's like, I'm a snob, but it's really not. I'm thinking about things, So.
It must be so fantastic to hear music in your head. What's it like? I mean, if you could describe it, let's say you're just sitting somewhere, you're talking to someone, and then all of a sudden you just hear something that no one else can hear.
Yeah, I don't know, 'cause I mean, everything you hear in your head is so great, like, 'cause all the sounds are perfect, everything's wonderful, but then when you actually pick up your guitar and play it, you realize it's all crap. So I mean, it doesn't really become anything for me until we turn it into band music. It's like I'm sure at some point in my life I'll just create stuff by myself and see what I like. Not music like this, but something very, much different. But I don't know. I'm stuck with it.
That's what you are, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
The album Dig, is
Thanks.
it's got so many different styles, so many different angles. There's some funk, and then there's like psychedelia, but that word's been used to death. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Every
Right?
word's been used to death. Yeah.
It's true.
We could come up with some new stuff.
Yeah,
we have to come up with some new. I think you're right. But I wonder though where you're gonna go. Like if you think about yourselves as artists, and you think, well, I'm gonna continue creating whether I have a deal or not. What do you think the next album is? What sort of things do you want to do?
It's hard
I
to
don't
sometimes
know,
think
yeah.
that far ahead. Sometimes it pops into your head, where are we going to go from here? But
We're going to the club
yeah,
tonight. That's about
it's
it.
just. But at the same time, you think, well, when that time comes, you will be somewhere different than where you are now. I mean, this album, this is kind of where we were. The things that happened in our lives, the people we talked to, the experiences we had, the booze we drank, the whatever. It all came out on the album. And 2 years from now, or a year or so, when we're doing another album, who knows where our heads are going to be at that time. It's going to be very different, because we'll have experienced a totally read a whole new book, and so it's going to be different. But it does pop into your head, geez, what are we going to do sometimes? But you don't want to dwell on it, because you want it to just come out. You'd rather it just flow out.
You hope it comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to
That'd be
thank
nice.
you very much.
Hey, that was a cue. Did I hear a cue?
Who snapped their fingers in the
Not me.
background?
I didn't
Right.
do it. I didn't do it.
Okay.
There
Okay,
actually, there's just one more thing. we're also doing a segment on musicians and AIDS, and I was just wondering if I might just ask you one more question. The question is, how is the AIDS crisis affecting you as musicians?
I'd have to say, as a musician, doesn't it affect me as much as it does just a person.
Even with groupies and everything?
Stay away.
Yeah, I mean, it's AIDS is always an issue. It should be, it should be on everyone's minds. But as far as that end of it, what you just mentioned,
The
it's
groupies?
yeah, it's just not. I don't know. It's kind of not so much part of our everyday thing. We choose, to do things differently. But I think AIDS in general should affect you first as a person, as a human, before being like a musician. Definitely. It's not something I can't see us as musicians like writing about, because we generally we write, and our music is thoughts and feelings and just kind of observations, and we really don't get too heavy or political with our music. It's just kind of something we like to do. Again, maybe in a few months, a few years, we might be in that headspace.
Yeah,
but
maybe an experience could happen to like a close friend or something like that. That maybe.
And it might change you.
Totally.
And that's bound to happen, because I think a lot of people have been maybe had someone close or something, something go wrong for them. But I'd say just more as a musician, not as much as just a person.
So you guys are playing Backstreet tonight, eh?
Yes,
You
we
excited?
are. Yeah, we
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
played in Montreal for a while. It's gonna be great. I love playing here. I
Yeah.
like this city.
Yeah, a lot of good crowds?
Yeah, we've had a couple of good crowds anyways. Last time we were here, we played with Ice-T. That was kind of
Really?
a weird
Yeah,
thing.
it was a mess. So we're looking forward.
Yeah, but the gigs before that were great,
Redeeming ourselves.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for coming in. Now
Thank
we'll be
you
sure
for
to check
having
the
us.
show out.
All right.
All right.
Thanks meeting you.
All right.
Okay.
I'm hot.
Yeah, me too.
Don't? No.
Oh.
I just need to do a station identification.
Oh.
The show is Powerline on CUTV.
CUTV?
Yeah.
CUTV.
Excuse me.
Okay.
And you're watching, what is it?
Who are you?
What did you
All right.
say?
Well, you're
Alright.
watching
We're
Powerline.
horrible
Yeah.
at these,
You
man.
know who you are.
Okay.
You're watching Powerline on CUTV.
Ah! That's why I have it there, right?
Caroline?
Okay.
Powerline
All right.
Powerline.
on CUTV.
Okay, this is Christian and Jag from My Mother Earth.
And you're watching Powerline on CUTV.
Okay.
Hey. So were you guys off to? I wasn't in your way.